Stugotz, I wanted to come in here today, and I wanted our show to only do the following, okay? Mm-hmm. In regard to a very big football game that was played last night. I wanted to declare Georgia the national champions and behave all day today without comment of any kind about the game as if the title had already been vacated. That Michigan doesn't get its feel good, doesn't get anything. Our show would behave as if that did not happen, that what happened last night is Georgia won the national championship. But the sound Mike made when I wanted to come in and do that was like, "Aww." Because he wanted so desperately to talk about everything that's happening last night between Michigan and Washington. And so I was denied the show I want to do by an ego-soaked executive producer in his last days on the job.
No, let's play pretend. Yeah. It's a college football playoff final. Two great teams doing battle, and the game was interesting for much of it. For midway through the third quarter was like the first time that it dawned on me, like, oh, Washington might actually steal this game.
Yeah.
Because they were just hanging around. And when that game started, it looked like Michigan was going to do what I feared, which is just control the line of scrimmage. And an interesting thing when you want to watch the trenches, because you came away watching that game, Michigan certainly won in the trenches. But entering that game, Washington had the number one offensive line in the nation. You would think that they'd be well-equipped to face this challenge. But over time, you could see Michael Penix, he's been injured all year, been dealing with God knows what. He was holding on to his side for much of that second half. And
missing throws he's been making
he was like
all
2 feet
season.
high.
He was just a little bit off. He was.
No, a little bit off.
Not a
with the
little bit
injury.
off. No, look, this guy was beautiful this season. Like, we're allowed to say, are we not, without taking anything away from Michigan, that one of the best players in the country, Indiana's former quarterback, who's great, didn't look in that game like he had all season, and Michigan's defense had something to do with that.
Oh, definitely.
Had something to do with that, but not some of those giant, the bad throws he hasn't been. He's not an amateur quarterback.
Yeah, but Dan, they got a lot.
He's a professional quarterback.
They got a lot of pressure on Penix. Unlike last week against Texas, who did not get a lot of pressure on him, Michigan was able to get a lot of pressure on Michael Penix.
Yeah, Michigan, I think, and we'll find out with time, I guess a book's still to be written, but Michigan was very clearly the best team in the nation. Now, I know in a one-game sample, Georgia's as good as anyone, and we could claim that would be a game, and the debates will
in
ensue.
a one-game sample, we just saw Michigan a play away from losing a week ago to the team that beat Georgia.
Right. So transitive property, they're better than Georgia.
No, just bad measurement system. We can make the champion whoever we want.
I mean,
but how does the measurement work that Georgia's better than the team that just beat Alabama?
right. It's
Because
all
they
open
didn't
for
get
debate.
invited to the party.
Because they lost to Alabama by a bounce that doesn't tell you Alabama's actually better, that if we play the game a bunch more times, we'd see Georgia win more often than Alabama did.
But Alabama won the game.
That's
Yes.
correct. But,
Yes.
All we have is the game.
And then Michigan beat
but
Alabama.
college football now is about the argument, not the measurement.
Right,
Can
but
we,
we're
can
in
we
charge of
argue
that.
about it?
So you want them playing 10 times?
Ooh,
Yeah.
then we know the champion.
Yes.
We're-
I don't understand.
we're in
No
charge
one's
of
happy with anything. We
Right.
weren't happy with the way things worked before because it was just who it is that we wanted in there. And then it's like, well, we'll expand it to 4 people. It's like, not the 4 we want.
Let's
go
try
back
12.
Let's just go back to giving it to the people we actually liked before.
I like Stugotz's idea. The next 10 Mondays.
How about this? Bowl games can invite whoever they want, and at the end of it, we just vote on who's a champ, and sometimes there could be multiple champions.
I
like
don't
that
trust
one.
that.
You like that one?
I like that one.
Can
Yeah.
a computer decide?
So does Bama.
A computer. All right, let's get a formula together, and
Ooh, I
surely
really like that
the
one.
best 2 teams based off of this computer model can get together, and we will decide a champion, and nobody will have a problem with maybe the 3rd or 4th best team in the nation not having a shot. You know what? Let me walk that back.
I vote for Tim Kirkchin deciding.
Well, hold on a second.
Let's try having 4 teams, because surely 4 teams, that's it. That's a cutoff point. No one outside of that 4 can lay claim to a national title or even be considered good enough. We've tried everything.
If we do the computer model, can we also have writers vote?
We should
just
do
in
we should
case
do
we
all
don't
of them.
agree with the computer.
We should have the computer model decide the top 12. Then the top 12 gets played, and then at the end of it, the writers decide.
and Kirkchin.
And Kirkchin?
Well, we were describing things that actually happened before.
Yeah, I don't think Chris got the bit whatsoever.
No, I think it's a good idea, though, Kirkchin.
It is a
At
good
the-
idea.
let all the games play out, and then we
Right.
ask Kirkchin
Final
who
say.
the champion
Chris
is.
Cote, go sit in the penalty box. We are going to get...
I knew what they were doing, though. I just was doing also something. Like,
They,
At
we
the same
heard
time, they were
we
doing
heard the
something,
Kirkchen
right.
joke. We already heard it. You made it once. We didn't need it again.
Made it 17 times.
We didn't need
Twice.
it. They were playing. Get it, go.
Billy and I were dancing, and you just kept trying to cut in.
You were playing a different game.
2 minutes for cutting in, huh?
2 minutes for cutting in. But Chris thinks he knows how to do the show better than everybody, and Greg Cote knows, no, I do the show better than anybody. And
Right,
so,
exactly.
when Stugotz, this is
That's,
genuine.
that's a spot for Zagacki.
Zagacki. Badap.
Nailed it.
Thank you, Ben.
Dan, he nailed that one.
He did.
I mean, come on. You can't argue with it.
I can't even. You know what? I can't even dispute it. Can't even be mad at it because Greg Cote happens to be and has been my entire life one of the funniest people I've ever known, largely by accident. And what happened on I've watched this a lot of times because what happened during the watch party, Stugotz, there were 5 or 6 moments during the watch party that made me howl with laughter, but none more than this one. We were going to Greg Cote in the press box, and he's on actual deadline. He's trying to keep the newspaper column alive. This is a horrible situation for him. He didn't want to be here working with us this day. He didn't want us interrupting his real job. And so we kept interrupting, and toward the end, it's the fourth quarter, things are tense, and he's already told us, go bleep yourselves. I'm not playing anymore. I've got to do my job. And it escalates because of his son and me badgering him into this.
All right, we got to go back out there. That was big. Wake him up.
Uh-oh. He doesn't want to be bothered anymore. Now it's getting tense because he didn't need that as a result. He needs something that happens.
You can see him mother effing.
He says,
Can we bother?
Yes.
Are we bothering you right now?
turn on your microphone, Greg.
My microphone's on. When my microphone is on, you guys have to come to me. I mean, don't tell me to turn my...
All right,
you told me to leave my microphone on. I did. So don't tell me turn your microphone on when it's on.
Paint the scene.
The paint the scene is I got to go to work. Good night. Paint the scene. For the love of God. Ridiculous.
Not happy.
That's why we did it right there for that moment.
We got the payoff. It's why we sent him out there. It's why we did the TV. Look at him. That is the reason that Meadowlark Media spent tens of thousands of dollars to break NFL rules and have you live from the press box during play.
Yes.
For that moment.
Okay. That's it? Just that one moment? Christopher suggested to me that we may have set history. He thinks that this is the first time a, fairly major sports columnist has written off a big game, not from the game, but during a live event, during a live watch party. That may have been a first. And in that respect, I'm happy to do it because this has been a year of first for me. And that was sort of cool.
But you were
do.
angry and agitated.
Well-
you were agitated before we started.
Did you guys just not watch the game? We're going to do another navel-gazing segment here. Look, I mean, Dan likes talking about things outside of the game more than anybody. He had a pretty interesting game. There was plenty surrounding this. It worked. Harbaugh bet on himself. It worked. He basically took a step down. This is a guy that was inches away from a Super Bowl, and he was also inches away from being fired. Because if they play that game amidst the lockdown of 2020, if they play that game against Ohio State, he loses that game, he's probably out of a job. 2 years later, they get this close. And then they finally finished the story last night with Blake Corum coming back with a quarterback that looked like the last few games that they were kind of hiding from everybody despite his first-round grades. A very innovative offensive attack with a quarterback that you have no idea what kind of pro prospect he might be because he's so effectively hidden. And they do this, doing big boy football on the lines, taking it to the number one offensive line in the country, and making this story complete. Michigan, a team that was a juggernaut for me growing up, a team that had a claim to the national title in 1997, became a punchline. And they went all in on Jim Harbaugh. And the bet finally worked, and it wasn't without its hurdles and its tribulations and its adversity, and you don't want to talk about it at all. It's a weird one for me because on top of this, we had a spying scandal, a dude in disguise with glasses that were recording, the head coach that got suspended multiple times for different infractions. This is one of the great college football stories of our lifetime, and you don't care about it, which is interesting to me.
It is not. It's not actually that I don't care, because of course I love the storytelling elements of this. But when you've contaminated what I'm watching so much that I know the measurement is super flawed, and you also throw into it the giant business of Jim Harbaugh will decide whether he wants to be the dirty guy in the pros or in college. The cheating scandal, for me, makes it so that he gets his successful story and his championship. He gets Stugotz off of him, but some of this stuff is super random, Mike. He was a step away from being fired a couple of years ago. It doesn't mean he's not great. He's good at it, but you can also do the worst of things in this sport and go undefeated. Urban Meyer did it before him, and he had to do it to keep up.
I'm not certain it gets me off of Jim Harbaugh. Do it without cheating. How's that sound? I mean, all this talk after the game about the adversity this team went through.
All self-inflicted.
All self-inflicted adversity that they had to climb over. They had to climb over their coach cheating and being suspended from the team.
And lying about a hamburger. And all of it seems stupid, and all of it probably reinforces what feels like an inevitability at this point. Jim Harbaugh getting out of this game. As he volunteers, we should all take pay cuts on his way out.
But you want me to moralize about the fact that they
Well, you also had a hot take. Did we not just have two undefeated Power 5 schools going for a national title after they went through the likes of Alabama? This is everything everybody ever wanted. It was a worthy national championship, and I don't know how you come away with
Georgia.
the take.
I wanted Georgia.
Look, Dan, I
Do
get
it
it.
against Georgia,
They got to beat Bama.
I completely get it. You don't love the mainstream media's college football invitational and the teams that get the invite. I understand. But Michigan went undefeated. And in the 10 seasons of the 4-team playoff, there were only 6 teams that went undefeated all the way through. 2023 Michigan, 2022 Georgia, 2020 Alabama, 2019 LSU, 2018 Clemson, and 2017 UCF. And I know what you're thinking. One of those teams is not like the other.
Stop.
But it's not
Stop.
Alabama's
Go to the
fault that it
penalty
was a
box.
COVID
Go
shortened
to the
season.
penalty box. Go to the penalty box.
Let Kirkchen decide.
I disavow this championship. It is not allowed.
Happy Cyclones draft day, everybody. It's
wow.
Battle Court.
It's Draft Tuesday, baby.
Woo! Oh, man. History will be made today as only 3 Cyclones are guaranteed their spot back on the Cyclones.
Just 3, huh?
I want to say Cestus so MFing loud, but I can't anymore because we rebranded because we want more people in the tent. And Cestus Cyclones may be off-putting. Cyclones, far more marketable. But, Ron, thank you for promoting one of my passions. I want to promote one of yours. Ron, you are going to be at Books and Books in Coral Gables today, 265 Aragon Avenue. That's going to be in the evening. Your book signing today for Pride of a Lion?
That's right. Myself and the infamous Greg Cote will
Greg,
be
you're
with
going to
me.
be at this? Greg, you got a book signing tonight?
Yeah, Ron and I together. Yeah. Why is that so amazing?
Well, because it's a big deal. We'll get a ton of people out there if they
Yes.
know about it, because bookstores, are not doing great. And
But
this
Books and Books is the exception. They really are
Yeah, they're killing
the
it.
pinnacle of bookstores in the country.
They say Ron knows how to stop Dan before he even gets started. I appreciate it.
It may be sold out, right? I mean, there's only 50 people, I think.
there will be a
very
crowd
early.
out the door if you tell people they can go regardless.
Yeah, if you have a big crowd out there, I know Greg Cote will personally say hello to each and every single person
Yeah.
out there, even if it takes all night.
Yeah, I'll wave through the window.
Yeah, and the best part of it is it's free.
Yeah, how about that?
He'll wave through the window.
Yeah.
That's not.
That's saying
that's
hello.
not-
I mean,
It
I
ain't
mean,
just
we're
a
being
joke.
facetious when we say free. It's implied you buy the book, you get it signed, but it's not free. They're going to buy the book.
The Pride of a Lion, what the animal kingdom can teach us about survival, fear, and family. You guys are not doing any book signings, are you? Are you doing any others? Like, this is a big deal. It's the first one. Is
Well,
there
it's the
going to?
second one. We had one at Zoo Miami. That
was sold out. That
Yeah,
was out the door. We were there for hours.
That was a huge crowd. This is going to be a little bit more intimate, I think, but we are going to have another book signing. Yes.
Oh, what time is it out? Is it 7 o'clock? What time is this signing?
What time, Ron?
I think it starts at 7. I think it starts at 7:30, but I'll be there at 7 o'clock.
At the first book signing, I heard it was a funny moment with my dad where Ron sat down and was signing books, and my dad was like awkwardly standing with my mom, like, "Am I supposed to be over there with Ron?"
I didn't know. I'm a new author. When after Fins at 50 came out, nobody wanted the book, let alone me to sign it. So this is a different experience for me.
We haven't gotten to Greg Cote's thoughts on the Dolphins. We haven't gotten to Ron Magill's thoughts on the Dolphins. Why don't you two old-timers have an old-timey conversation about how heartbreaking Monday was as people who have cared?
I say every time at the end of the year, I say, why did the Dolphins hate me? Because I feel like they hate me sometimes. I get so excited about the season. Things are going so well. And then, boom, it's like, I don't know what to say anymore. I just, the injuries are horrible. I know that's a bad situation, but still, guys, I am not looking forward to 5 degrees in Kansas City. That doesn't bode well.
Well, you're not going there. I mean, you're in the playoffs. Get over it.
He's
playoffs. Right. The playoffs are not enough, Stugotz. The playoffs are not enough. If you're going to settle for the playoffs, well, you shouldn't be settling at all. Okay, I really thought, that whole Denver game got me on some kind of ridiculous cloud, and now I'm just, raining is what I'm doing.
Chris Cote, can you tell me how your mom feels? Because I'm guessing her opinions are stronger and better than your father's.
I haven't talked to her, but I'm sure, she's a maniac.
She's the same as Ron. She spent the past 2 weeks basically going, here we go again, expecting to be let down by the Dolphins, expecting the late season swoon, and getting exactly what she expected.
Now, getting a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers and having him tear his Achilles 4 snaps in, that is worthy of here we go again. You made it to the playoffs.
Right.
No, Stugotz, you know what? I sympathize with you. You're right. You're living a nightmare. That was a nightmare. Yeah. I mean, 4 minutes into the game and your season was over.
4 snaps.
And I remember all the hype. It was unbelievable. It was incredible. And I looked and the first thing I said to my wife, I go, Stugotz just jumped off a building.
Is it possible you guys are manifesting this negativity and you're complaining about rain?
I wasn't. I said we're going to win this game. I was so happy about it. I said we're going to win this game. And all the naysayers, on social media, all these freaking trolls are there all saying all kinds of stuff. And I'm saying, no, we're going to do this. They're ready. This is a great, great thing to do here. I want to. And then here we go.
Yeah, but that's it right there. Here we go. We're headed into the playoffs, and already you're down. You're complaining about rain. Need to remind you.
I'm not complaining about rain. I'm complaining about cold. I'm complaining about injuries. No. I'm complaining. Yeah,
if it rains when it's that cold, it'll snow.
You're complaining about figurative rain. You said it was just rain clouds, and here comes the rain. And Ron, rain's good for crops.
This cloud that I was riding on just rain, and it's over.
Okay, but what do clouds bring? Rain, and what did rain bring? Rainbows.
That's right.
Thank you.
Well said.
Thank you, Billy.
Yeah, well said. Mm-hmm. Put that on a T-shirt. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Put it on a T-shirt?
Yeah. You can't have a rainbow without the rain.
Mm-hmm. Bit wordy.
May I say, Dan, on a total different tangent, you look marvelous today. What are you doing? Are you doing something famous or something today? Because you really look stunning.
What do you mean?
I mean, if I would almost ask you out. You look really good.
Same. Almost.
Yeah. Yes. I did ask him out. He turned me down.
They're going to be double dating.
You look like a disco executive there.
What a perfect date night. Tonight's book signing would be at Books and Books in Coral Gables. If you want to meet Ron Magill and Greg Cote and get a signed copy of The Pride of a Lion, they will be there tonight around 7 o'clock-ish.
Dan will be there. He'll sign the book for them, too.
Dan is going to say hello to each and every person that comes out.
Roy will give you a hug if you ask.
Roy and Dan will both be there.
You dyeing the stash and the beard and everything. You look a lot younger, very thin.
In fact, Jeremy Taché has also volunteered to go out there.
The eyebrows are jet black.
I would never.
Hey, really? I mean, everything's looking very, very 10 years ago.
Sharp.
Come out and meet Stugotz today.
And the collar all the way down to show the chest hair and everything. You're looking very Goetia, man. Very nice.
We have a new lighting person, Ron.
Is that what it is?
I don't like these.
I'm telling you, Dan is rocking it today.
Are you trying to insult me? I don't dye anything.
More orcas were spotted off of the South Florida coast. Is this just a new reality for us with changing global climates? Are we now just going to be a killer whale hub?
No, it could very well be just changing climates. As a matter of fact, an old classmate of mine from high school, a good friend of mine, Rick Peebles, who's the captain who spotted those orcas, got that video.
Can we get the video, please, of the boxing kangaroos? Because I have seen, Ron, a number of videos over the years.
We get it. Your friend's the boat captain.
Yep.
I mean, geez.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The kangaroos boxing, there have been very muscular kangaroos I've seen. You've told us before the kangaroo can not disembowel you, but what it can do with its legs will really hurt a human being. Let's play this video for Ron and tell us what's happening here.
Well, these are two males. They're just fighting over territory, over dominance. This is very common in males, and they could disembowel you if they got you the right way. Those rear legs, they don't work independently. They work together. A kangaroo cannot move one rear leg and independent of the other. They work like on a swing together.
So they're fighting over territory in the
That's what
trailer
they're doing.
park.
Yeah, exactly.
One of them is called dibs on the trailer park.
Well, now there's probably some females around, and females make males stupid. That's the bottom line. So they're just fighting to get that dominance and establish themselves. It's just a macho thing. It's a testosterone thing.
Australia is a wild place, man. It's summer
listen,
when it's winter. There's snakes in your toilets. You're in your trailer park chilling, and there's kangaroo fights.
I think 7 out of every 10 snakes in Australia is very venomous, very dangerous.
Wow.
Can you explain to me how long one of those fights can possibly last? How long would they do that?
It depends. If both of them are feeling very headstrong and both of them think they have a chance, that could go on for 20 minutes, half an hour. I've never seen it go any longer than that.
Is there a best fighter in the animal kingdom? Like not a killer, but just that could do that no one else. If I were put together the ideal boxing match just for entertainment purposes, what's that look like?
Gosh, boxing wise, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, kangaroos are very well known for their boxing. That's why you always have the memes of the kangaroos in the boxing gloves, because they do hit with their front paws like that.
Right.
But look at Cote. What is he doing over there?
But Ron, who would you have a kangaroo face if you wanted to see a good
He is breathing
boxing
so
match?
heavy right now.
I don't know who I'd have the kangaroo face, because at the end of the day, animals fight with different things depending on what their assets are. A kangaroo against a jaguar has got no chance. I mean, a jaguar's not going to box him. It's just going to bite him in the neck and kill him. It depends on the animal you're talking about. A big python could probably kill the kangaroo before the kangaroo can kill the python, because the python's just going to wrap around him and suffocate him, and he's dead. Incapacitate him. So every animal's got their weapon.
Ron, in accepting our new reality that we are now this killer whale hub, as someone who does not like sharks whatsoever, should I be thrilled about this development? What are we inviting in our lives now that there's a killer whale here?
Well, the killer whale is not really a threat to human beings. I think I told you about the story when I was in the Galapagos and photographing sea turtles, and all of a sudden a killer whale swims over me. I got this big shadow like a cloud going on. I look up at a killer whale. What does that mean?
So look at me, Louie. So less sharks now that there are killer whales in the hood? Because I'm good.
Not necessarily less sharks. No. Now you just have killer whales too. How about that?
Someone gave me this ankle bracelet that is supposed to repel sharks. And it was a very thoughtful gift.
You fell for it?
Well, I'd rather have it than not. Me, when I hop in the water, I'd like to know I'm doing the absolute most to not get attacked by a shark.
And what is supposed to be the repellent ingredient of this ankle bracelet?
I don't know. There's some weird metal that can dissolve over time that goes around my ankle. Do you believe in shark repellent?
Oh, I do believe in shark repellent, depending on the type of repellent. But there are repellents that have been proven to work. I've not heard of an ankle bracelet being one of them. Maybe somebody just wanted you to look strange.
No, I'll get you one.
Ron, before we let you go here, because we've talked before about you are a old school Latin Lothario. You are the king of romance. You are a man who knows how to treat his woman. You have commented on my appearance. I am trying to be a better man for my wife, who is totally appalled by what is happening at the Miami Seaquarium and wants me to do something about it. And I'm like, I know Ron can help me do something about it, but Ron's a government employee, and so I need to point out to people the atrocity that is going on at the Miami Seaquarium. It is a cruelty that is out of a different time. We are not a banana republic. We should not have something here that is a tourist attraction that is killing its animals because it doesn't have proper care. It's disgusting, and my wife wants me to do something about it, and I don't know what or how.
I think you just keep raising awareness, Dan. You've got a huge following. And, at the end of the day, when the people lead, the leaders will follow. I think that the commission and those people are feeling a lot of pressure right now to do something about that situation. I want to make something very clear, though. It's not necessarily the frontline caretakers that are doing the atrocities. It's the people at the top who are not spending the money to fix the facility the way it needs to be fixed. And I feel so badly for some of those frontline employees who I know are so passionately dedicated to trying to do the best they can, but don't have the tools to do it because that place is falling apart.
Ron, thank you. The book signing tonight. Everyone in Miami, they don't do a lot of this. They are both local icons, and this book is a genuine hit.
And Stugotz will be there.
And Dan, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the way you're looking for your wife. She must just ravage you when you get home.
That's right. That's right.
That's funny.
That's right.